Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay, and this is not a rant. Well, it might be a wee bit, but it's not a rant of complaint, more a rant of frustration, shall we say. Backstory: yesterday I had a few other things on, and it was quite a good day business wise. Made, like enough profit for nearly a day's wage doing other things, and then anything that came in on eBay would be a bonus. So a nice average day would have kind of been a 2-day wage, for want of a better way of describing it, type of day that would have worked out as, which would have been really, really good. Makes up for a little bit of what's not happened earlier in the month, and gives a wee bit of a cushion for what might not happen later in the month. So that was all good. And then I got back and I looked at eBay.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, very, very frustrating. Average this month has been about £160 a day in sales. And I know that's more than some and a lot less than others, but that's just where my average is. I need to get to about £200 a day in sales to make this sustainable at a minimal level. So it's been creeping towards that, edging up there. 160 a day, that's quite good. So a bad day might be a bit below that, good day might be a bit above that, and then there was yesterday. I mean, I don't know what's going on. 60 quid in sales all day. Just deplorable. So somewhere between £15 and £20 in profit from that. It's days like that where it feels hardly worth putting in the effort. So there's people always asking about hourly rates and how things work out. So yesterday, my hourly rate, I spent a couple of hours listing, an hour doing other bits and pieces. So not a huge time investment in the day, but probably around 3 hours on eBay stuff yesterday, not including videos and such like, for about 15 quid. So maybe £5 an hour. So yesterday's one of those days where it just, if that's what your proposal was, wouldn't be worth it. There will be better days to come. There have been better days in the past. It's just really, really frustrating when you think you're going to get a bit of a boost. And having said that, if I hadn't been out doing other things, then yesterday would have been a complete disaster rather than just really, really frustrating. So, many fingers, many pies. Unless you've got a turnover which will allow you to consistently save profit, then this ain't the game to play without having other sources of income at the same time. I'm always talking about this £200 a day in sales. If I can get to £200 a day in sales, on average, that will be enough to take a very basic, kind of minimum wage salary out of the business, or wage out of the business, or whatever you want to call it. And then anything above and beyond that allows me to start putting money by to invest in properly expanding the business. So, I say 200 a day allows me a few quid every day to go out and buy more stock, as well as enough profit to take a kind of minimum wage salary out of that. And that's assuming working 40 hours a week at £11 an hour. So it's not talking big money, but that's what that would get to. And then anything above that means that I can start putting money aside to invest in this as a business. Is that premises? Is it just better storage within what I've got at the moment? Expanding stock, whatever it might be, but it gives me that opportunity to think about that. So yeah, really frustrating when you get days like that where a normal day would be really, really good and it just kicks you in the teeth and leaves it as a big slump. But having said that, we still had a few sales, so I'm not, at no point am I complaining about what I get. I know eBay goes up and down and up and down. It would have just been nice to have felt like a win now and again. Have a good day yesterday so that it felt like a really win, and then have a rubbish day today so it just feels like a loss when it is a loss, rather than the other way around. I hope that makes sense. Anywho, let's have a look at what has gone out the door. First up, I've not got these in the right order, for £9.99. Now these are sales from kind of yesterday through to today. So although my total sales yesterday were abysmal, I've had a couple of sales overnight which has boosted up what's available to go out. But the first three, £9.99 for 3 Harlan Coben paperbacks. One of those authors, stack them up, bundle them up, do what you will with them, they will sell. The next author, who also sells well in bundles and on his own, this time it's 2 books going out, Stephen King. We've got The Dead Zone, which is a reprint from 1993. It's still a fairly almost original paperback, and Just After Sunset. Again, both paperbacks, and the two of them went for £11.29. Very nice. Next, it's a little book all on its own. Let's get it out of there. How to Win Friends and Influence People. £7.99. This was mentioned in something I was watching. I haven't heard anybody mention it in ages. And then it got... can't remember what it was. But anyway, that's it there. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. You know, it was a hugely popular book at the time, and it is sold for £7.99. Next, what do we got? Oh, a bundle pack. So I didn't make this bundle, I bought this bundle and sold it as a bundle. So it's like a pack of Where's Wally books. There's 4 activity books and then 4 just of the actual Where's Wally books. Won't take them out the bag. Paid a couple of quid for it. It wasn't incredibly expensive. You know, it still worked out about 25 pence a book, so about £2 I paid for that. £12.99 back. So yeah, that's alright. I see no huge sales over this period either, which huge sales mean like big value sales. It's all been bread and butter, which I'm fine with, but when it's bread and butter, I want a lot to go out. Next, bread and butter, we've got 3 Julia Donaldson books. I mean, let's say these are the ones that when nothing else sells, these sell. The only exception's probably the How to Win Friends and Influence People book, but everything else, it just keeps churning. £10.89 for those 3 Julia D's. And finally, 3 Dilly Courts. Yes, 3 Dilly Courts, and they have sold for £9.99. There we go. Tilly True, Snow Bride, and the Reluctant Heiress. So, bread and butter, Dilly Court, mentioned it once or twice. If you see them, buy them, pick them up, sell them, and they do great. So that's everything that we've got. Getting back to luckily I was out doing some other bits and pieces. One of the other wee things that I do occasionally, Amazon Flex. So we've got a Morrison's about 12 miles from here, which is a depot for Amazon shopping deliveries. And every once in a while, able to blag a wee kind of 2 hour, 1.5 hour, whatever it is, shift over there. So it doesn't pay a lot of money. Typically, let's say it's about 12 miles from here. So usually it's at least a kind of 50-mile round trip for going out, collecting, delivering, and then getting back, which is a tenner going straight away in petrol. So if you're getting paid £25–30 for a 2 hour or 1.5 hour stint, you're taking a tenner off of that straight away just for petrol. Then you've got your insurance and everything to pay for, which is, you know, £1 an hour or something that it works out as. So it doesn't make an awful lot of money, but what it does do is it puts me somewhere where I can go and do a bit of sourcing and picking up. So I say I don't do these very often. There's not many available. If they have to be at the right time of day to suit me, so I'm quite picky about it. But what it does mean is I go out there, I pick it up, and I will end up in one of the 4 corners of Ayrshire, North Ayrshire, East Ayrshire, South Ayrshire, which will take me to somewhere where it would be a bit of an out the way drive just to go and pick up books. Places where there's maybe not a huge selection, but where they will have enough to justify it if I happen to be there anyway. So I'll be going out and seeing where I end up. I don't know where it'll be. There's a couple of places I hope it might be, because it's places I haven't been in a wee while, so it'd be quite good to end up down or up or round in those directions and go in and see what they've got, pick a few bits and pieces up hopefully, and see where it goes from there. Out with that, I'm avoiding big pickups at the moment because I've just got too much stuff. I need to get it down a wee bit, or I'll need to do another wee online clearance sale to make space. But I'm trying to work out how to manage the stock well. I did do one little pickup yesterday, but it was just into the local Tesco, and it was 3 little paperbacks, so it's worth looking. You know, picking things up in dribs and drabs, you'll make money. You just got to be patient. So if you happen to be in the supermarket and they have one of those community book stalls, glance your eye over it. It's only going to take a minute to look at, and there might be a couple of bits and pieces there you can grab. So I've got a copy of Harlan Coben's Fool Me Once, Colleen Hoover, Too Late, really good condition, and a hardcover of The Midnight Line by Lee Child. So each of those will make me £1. That might be maybe £1.50, £2, depending on how it sells. So it's 3 or 4 quid's profit from just glancing at the shelves, and I just give them 50p a book. So that works out. That's what they ask for. That's what they get. I have gone in there and walked out with 20 books in the past. I've, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. I've found signed copies. I've found like really early editions, Stephen King's and Terry Pratchett's, all sorts of things in those community bookstalls. So if you've got one of them nearby, whenever you're in the shop, remember, run your eye over it. You never know what you'll find. Anyway, that was yesterday's huge book haul. Absolutely massive, wasn't it? Today, hopefully, I'll pick up a few more. I haven't really got anything from my own collection lately, which has stayed the size it was. It hasn't gone anywhere. I have picked up a couple of more books for the reading pile, but I'll share them at a later point, because I'm going to get more today. I'm quite sure of it. Today I'm going to pick up all the bangers I've been looking for absolutely ages, plus some absolute belters for selling on eBay, because my name's Ian and I sell books on eBay, in case you didn't know that. Anyway, going to cut it short. Been trying not to drag these out to 20, 30, 40 minutes, because it's too long and it's just me standing here blethering away. So we'll leave it there, and for now I shall say love you, see you, bye.